Iran closes another strait. No, not that one. And yes, it's hard to keep them straight. Plus, the war in Ukraine is now merging with the war in Iran, but it's not a war. Don't worry, it doesn't matter because now we're all part of the United States of Israel. Plus, Ham Lord Ed Larson returns today on the Foreign Report. Welcome back to the Foreign Report, your weekly geopolitical podcast that gives you all the gory details with hopefully some laughs along the way. I'm Travis Irvine, filling in for our esteemed FPZ foreign policy daddy, Seena Ghaznavi. He's out sick. He never gets sick. So that's how you know it's serious. I blame the Mossad or his children are working for the Mossad. But don't worry, we will be carrying on, making the news that's terrible bearable today for you, and we got a lot of terrible news to get through. So I have brought in the most professional and qualified person I know to get us through the news that is terrible and make it bearable. Ladies and gentlemen, from the brighter side, from last podcast on the left, the one, the only, Ham Lord Ed Larson.
Hey, how you doing?
Ham
is a part of my identity. It's on my shirt.
It's on your shirt.
That is available on eddytunes.com. And I'm a ham-ambassador, please, especially when I'm on the Foreign Report. I'm a ham-ambassador. Not to be confused with a ham-bastard.
Yes.
I'm a ham-ambassador.
What a great pun. Also, it ties in to...
You want to hear another great pun?
I do, absolutely. That's why
Seena puts the sod in Mossad.
Come on. By the way, we are now sponsored by the Mossad. We established it on the last episode.
They got all kinds of money, so congratulations.
Thank you. Yeah.
That's great.
We realized that Israel's been sponsoring anti-JD.
Is that why you guys always drone on? Come on.
We try to keep it to an hour. We try. We're sorry, Mossad. We're sorry. No, we found out that Israel's apparently sponsoring anti-JD Vance content on the internet.
Really?
And we are the kings of anti-JD Vance content.
They're coming for your stuff.
Yeah, but that's the other thing. Then we also are very critical of Israel's foreign policy, so I don't know how this balances out.
Wow.
Yeah. So,
why are they coming for Vance? I thought Vance was their boy.
He's the America First guy. He's the voice in the administration saying, don't go to war with Iran, and Israel wants the war to go on forever, really, apparently.
My brain's broken right now. Vance doesn't want the Iran war?
Yeah, that's what's so crazy. He's like he's like the America First. He was like, no more foreign wars. Like when all this stuff was starting.
Only civil wars.
Yes, only civil. You got to keep him nice. But he was like the guy in the administration who was like, don't do it. But then you got your Marco Rubios and you got your Warhawks still. And
Rubio's trying to become president.
So's JD. We'll see who wins out. Actually, we'll get to that later.
Okay, cool.
Here's the thing, Eddie. Every time you come on, I love feeding you all the stories that Seena and our producers have prepared, and then we always go off the rails, which that's the part I love.
No problem. I've promised not to say the F word in the first 5 minutes.
Don't worry.
I think we're almost
3 minutes away from being able to say the F word.
Yes. Take that, YouTube, and your stupid FC. Think about what that might mean.
FCC. I love it. So I just want to touch real quick on the bonkers White House Correspondents Dinner. This was the replaced. This replaced
I refuse to watch,
and I refuse.
So
to
I'm
watch.
sorry that I'm ill prepared for this because I was so mad about it.
Yes,
as a comedian, I was very offended.
Yes, as you should be.
And didn't they hire a magician and then fire the magician?
They fired everybody.
That's the only thing they did correct. Always fire the magician.
Yes.
Yes.
Man, comedians and magicians, they've never gotten along, except Penn and Gillette. And
so where did they hold it? At the Tragic Castle? Come on!
Come on, people. Here we go. That's what's so fun. The last time they tried to do this, there was an assassination attempt. And then they did it all again for it to only be even worse than the assassination attempt event.
Yeah.
Like, this was bonkers. I am with you. I did not watch any of it. This is the thing with conservatives and comedy. And you're a roast expert. You've written for roast. You've helped produce roast.
Yes.
Your cousin is the roast master general.
The first time I ever got paid for comedy was when I helped on an internet companion on Comedy Central to the Donald Trump roast.
Oh my Lord, what a telling time.
That was the first time I got $50.
Wow.
Your first time I ever got money for comedy was for that bastard.
Well, that is very timely because he attempted, because they fired the magician, he did an hour of comedy to like cap off the Correspondents'
Does he
Dinner.
call it? Did he like claim it was comedy?
People wrote him jokes. He had joke writers write him shitty jokes.
Yeah.
And then he told them in very non-convincing, like off a teleprompter. And it reminds me of what your cousin, the Roastmaster General.
I need to find out who wrote
the. I mean,
it had to
like
have been
Stephen
Tony.
Miller. You know, it's like
Hinchcliffe. It's probably Hinchcliffe and his goons.
That would be bonkers. But that was the thing. The jokes bombed so bad. And that's the thing. People weren't even booing. It was just silence, apparently, for a whole hour.
Well, that's because people are scared.
Well, and this is the
everyone
thing too.
in there. It's like being in there with a dictator. You're like, you laugh, you laugh at the wrong thing, you get kicked out of the whole thing.
Right.
You put all this time in kissing butt for years.
Yeah.
You know, and like you chuckle at the wrong thing or at the wrong moment, and then you're out on your tush.
Yes. And he threw like CNN's Caitlin Collins under the bus, had a horrible joke about her. This is the thing though. It's like conservative comedy is not funny to me and to, I think, a lot of Americans because they're always punching down. And that was the thing about Trump's jokes. They're all just punching down, and his own people were in the room.
Any joke a president says
is going to be punching down. But even Obama knew how to like tell like a good joke. You know?
No, he's cute about it. He had great timing.
Yes.
Trump doesn't have good timing.
No.
Trump, he is not, he's objectively funny, which is an aggravating thing to say and come out of my mouth.
Yes.
He is objectively funny, but the thing is, Meatball Ron is
Ron DeSantis.
I'll live on that forever. That was very funny. But
right.
I will
low energy Jeb.
He
has some fun zingers in there.
But I will
Little
say,
Marco.
It's the problem is like there's nothing funny about this anymore.
Yeah,
I don't want to joke about Trump anymore. There's nothing like. I talk to my friends. They're like, "Oh, it must be a comedy goldmine." No, it's death.
Yeah.
I don't find anything funny anymore because it's all like filled with like a cloud of existential dread that he's left over all of us.
Yes.
And so I've lost I love Kimmel. I think his show's great, but I can't watch it anymore because it's all Trump jokes.
It is.
It is just like, and it's just become the Trump show. And I'm sick of it. I want Matt Damon jokes. I want, where are those? Let's go back to what, pop culture.
Yeah.
I don't want to talk about this crap anymore, but I do love being here, Travis.
Oh yeah, don't worry. This will be the only time we talk about him.
Yes, yeah. But I'm sure he bombed.
He bombed so hard. And it made me think of what your
Who's
cousin...
even in the room?
There's a lot of, it's a bunch of reporters who already have dealt with this guy. They're actually giving out awards to reporters who reported on the Epstein files, things like that. And Trump had to sit there and smile about it.
Yeah.
But then he had a bunch of other, his people in the room, his staff, Republican Congress people in the administration, and even they weren't laughing at their boss's jokes.
It's because they're just sitting there. Everyone's numb at this point.
Yeah.
It's a mic for him.
Yeah.
He's just running.
Open mic. Yeah.
He's just running material. Every time he can't get
Did I get the light yet?
to perform at his shows, he just does it himself. He did it with his birthday party.
He did.
And then
America's birthday party
that was on his birthday.
Yeah.
Which is so stupid and wrong and awful and dumb and self-centered and obviously, what am I doing? I'm preaching to the exact people. They know.
Yeah.
What am I going to say? That he's bad? And they're like, really? No, he sucks.
He does suck. And the only thing I wanted to add was your cousin, the Roastmaster General.
Yes.
Jeff Ross. He's got 2 rules on roasts. Is number 1, you only roast the ones you love.
Yeah.
And that's what Jon Stewart said
and
too.
Kevin Hart.
And also Kevin Hart. And Tom Brady's obviously fair game now because your cousin's good friends with Tom Brady now. The problem is Trump doesn't love any of these people that he's making fun of. He doesn't love them, so he's not doing it with love. So it's already not the vibe itself, but the whole structure's off.
Well, the Trump roast, after the second commercial break, Jeff had to go over to him and be like, hey, man.
And that's the second rule. You got to have fun.
You got to have fun. You got to laugh.
Yep.
If you don't smile, we're going to have nothing to cut to.
Yes.
This isn't fun if you're not enjoying yourself.
Yes. Yep.
And he couldn't take it back then.
Yeah.
And then
so 10 years ago.
Yeah.
Years
more
ago.
a long time ago.
Yeah.
Now we're looking at this situation where also, oh my God,
Mm-hmm.
this is I got some fun Trump roast dirt for you.
Oh, Lordy.
So there was this one joke, I'm gonna butcher it, but like it was in Trump's response where it was like, one joke, he was like, it was written by the writers, I'm worth $1 billion. And then he's like, we got to change this to 6 billion. And then they're like, you're not worth 6 billion. Everyone knows you're not worth 6 billion. And he's like, you got to change it to 6 billion. And then they're like 2, and he's like 4, and they're like, fine.
Oh my God.
Yeah. So they like negotiated
the art of the deal. Make up a number. It needs to be higher.
And then Hillary stole one of Jeff's jokes from the Trump roast and used it against him.
Oh.
Yeah. The art of the deal has 4 chapter 11s.
That's a great joke.
It's a great joke. See? And Hillary stole it.
Oh, great. Well, you know what? We always said she's the Carlos Mencia of the Clinton family. We've always said about her. Anyway, so yeah, I just want to get your thoughts on it. So thank you.
It sucks.
It's
to my credit. Yeah, it stinks. I've been watching the credit lately. It's on Tubi for free, by the way.
Oh my God.
Yeah, get it. It's funnier than it ever was.
Oh my God. Don't give me.
Now that I'm an adult, I understand the references.
Yeah. I was talking to Adam about The Simpsons before. It's like The Simpsons, The Critic, and then probably like Tiny Toons, Animaniacs.
Oh yeah.
Those are the cartoons that made me the comedian I am today.
Oh my gosh.
So
Johnny Bravo? Hoo-ha.
I didn't have cable.
Oh.
So I didn't. Those were lost. Any Nickelodeon
so no Ren and
show.
Stimpy.
No Ren and Stimpy.
You poor bastard.
I know. Everyone was they were like, you idiot. And I was like, I don't get it. What's so funny?
Yeah, Ren and Stimpy is my ultimate separate the art from the artist.
Beavis and Butthead. That was lost on
Phenomenal stuff.
I mean, that was Mike Judge's early stuff.
New King of the Hill's great.
Ugh.
But we're talking about foreign policy.
Yes, we'll bring it back. And this is why I like having you on the show. Because I wanted to yell about this roast a little bit, and it sucked, and you're the expert on roast. So thank you for entertaining me.
I didn't watch it on purpose. I knew no one was going to try and kill him again, and they would have better security, right. So there was no reason to tune in.
Well, we already saw the assassination attempt. I'll just switch the channel. Totally fair. Well, here's my segue into foreign policy. While Trump was bombing at the White House Correspondents Dinner, the U.S. and Iran have been bombing in the Middle East.
Okay, yeah,
Here we go. Oh, buddy, it's gone off the rails. So, I mean, since the last time you were here...
It just started last time I was here. Great. That was like 30 episodes ago or something.
Yes. I mean, that's the thing. We are months and months into this thing. And there was, a ceasefire. Like you mentioned, America's birthday. Like we let them bury their Ayatollah, their supreme leader. They had his funeral on the 4th of July, which coincided with our 250th anniversary as a country. So the ceasefire was on for that day. It was a day of peace for both countries to recognize what makes them them. And then after that, it really went off the rails. The ceasefire is obviously over, and now things are accelerating. And we highlighted this last week with Seena when he was here, but you've been hearing about the Strait of Hormuz, right? Yes, and it's pronounced Hormuz, or as I like to pronounce it, Hormel chili. Because, thank you. It's still,
I thought it was a really promiscuous cow.
Either way, it's horrible chili. So... I have Seena's so good at bringing up visuals and things like that. I have none of his tech skills, which is fun because I went to journalism school.
Yes.
I went to video school. I want to show you something here with the Strait of Hormuz, and this is for our visual audience as well. The Strait of Hormuz, you got a big country called Saudi Arabia right in there.
Yeah.
And the Strait of Hormuz is on the Iran side.
It's up there.
This is the little
if Saudi Arabia is on its back, it's the penis looking to get sucked.
100%. You can't, and you can't spell peninsula without penis. It's literally in there. Sorry, YouTube. That's how you spell the word. So the Strait of Hormuz is on this side, and this is where all this gas and oil, this is where everything's been having to get through. And Iran, as we know, they've made it the chokehold even chokier. And that's not to turn anyone on. There's just no ships can get through.
Didn't they put a bunch of like bombs in the water? They do what
they're doing. They
do that. Like,
well, and we're gonna get to it.
Like landmine, like water landmines. I don't know what the right name. Drones.
We're gonna get to it because it's pretty crazy. They're using cheap ass drones to basically cut off the world's global supply of energy right here. So Saudi Arabia, to its credit, is like, well, we're an oil nation. We're going to pump all our oil, and they're starting to get pipelines to this side, to the Red Sea.
They should have been doing that a long time ago. They should have had that decades ago.
Yeah, well, that's the thing. You may recall a little thing called the Suez Canal that's over here. That was a crisis back in the 1950s. Anytime you have a tight waterway, there's going to be some problems.
Yeah.
Panama, I mean, you name it.
Someone's coming in and they're going to be like, this is my canal.
Yep, exactly. Yep. And you can't spell canal without anal. And now this over here, this is another strait, right? Over here. So they've been pumping all this oil over to the Red Sea, and all these Saudi Arabia, they're like, all right, we can't use the Strait of Hormuz. We're going to the Strait of Bab el-Mandeb. And I got that pronunciation right with our producers before Seena got sick.
Okay.
So this is also a very important strait. But guess what, Seena?
And that's down by Egypt, and I'm Ed.
I'm sorry. Thank you. God damn it. It's good to be back. So this is Yemen, Djibouti, and Eritrea. This strait right here.
Eritrea's f***ed up.
Yeah, well, this whole area, I mean, and you got
It's
Sudan.
tough.
I mean, it's Ethiopia. It's all
It sucks that Djibouti isn't a nice place because I love saying it.
I know. And you can't spell Djibouti without booty.
Asshole.
Okay, there it is. Come on, folks. We're bringing the jokes. So right here, this is the Strait of Bab el-Mandeb. And what has happened now, Seena, is that the Iranian-sponsored Houthi rebels in Yemen are now throwing bombs and drones into this strait.
Yeah.
So now all the ships
Are they buddies with Iran? I don't even know.
Yes,
Yemen...
they are sponsored by Iran.
Oh.
Iran's been sponsored.
I mean, I hate them and I don't like them at all, but they're good at this.
They're very good at this.
They're good at this. They are good at this.
And this is what we were trying to highlight with this, basically this modern warfare is that in the 80s when Iraq and Iran were fighting, right, and we were sponsoring Saddam Hussein and he was bombing the shit out of Iran.
Yeah.
And Iran wasn't allowed to get any actual weapons. They still, are not allowed to have the nuclear weapon. That's what this war is supposedly about. But in the absence of getting those, they had to improvise a little bit. They became an improv troupe, and they are now getting cheap drones and sponsoring all these rebels. I mean, even Hamas and up in Lebanon, the Hezbollah.
Yeah.
Right? It's Houthis, Hamas, and Hezbollah. They're sponsoring all of those terrorist groups and getting them their weapons so they can do some damage down here at the Strait of Bab el-Mandeb, as well as up here around Israel.
Yeah.
And that's all sponsored by Iran. So now what's happening is this strait is choked off from the oil supply.
Okay.
And so everyone's like, all right, we'll get it through here. And now they can't get it through here. So now
what's going on down here?
Well, this is Yemen and Oman. Oh my Oman. That's my joke about it. Stay tuned for the musical.
Yeah.
But all the oil that's coming out of here, it can't go out through here. It can't go out through here. So now they've got to go all the way around Africa, and the map's not big enough to show. But that could take weeks.
It takes a long time.
Months to start getting. Yeah. So Iran has successfully choked off not just one strait, but two straits. And in doing so, now there's no way to get the energy supply to the rest of the world in a timely or efficient manner, which means it's about to skyrocket in cost.
I mean, well, what else is new? I'm surprised it's honestly, I don't want to, I'm a brighter side man, and it's hard. I can't believe everything is as cheap as it is still, to be honest with you.
Right. Well, that's because we're going off all the reserves, but now the global oil reserves, not just in our country, but around the world, are running out.
What happened to all the oil we got from Venezuela? That hasn't helped us at all?
Man,
what's going on with that? Wait, was that all worthless?
That was all.
That would have been this whole thing would have been it would have been better if we would just use that oil.
That is 100% correct, and that is another show, unfortunately.
Yeah.
I have no updates on Venezuela beyond that they had a massive earthquake in their capital a couple weeks ago.
Japan too now. Had one today. There's a bunch of people trapped in a freaking mall. France is on fire. Spain's on fire. This foreign report's turning into a natural disaster show when the truth is it's all because of climate change, and we did it.
We did it. And it's all because of oil. I mean, I could go on a 5-hour rant about why the hell didn't we just invest in solar and wind and geothermal when we had the chance.
Man, it's crazy how much it's all come full circle around now. All the progressives aren't buying electric cars because we hate Elon Musk.
Right.
It's just like it's like all come like full circle around. Like now it's crazy.
But even
I
then,
got afford.
Yeah, it's like Biden had policies where everyone got like an EV tax credit if you bought a car. It's like $7,500, and then Trump came in and killed those because they call it DEI or whatever.
Yeah, and then California had one, and then we killed the Tesla specific one and a war against Elon, and so everything's just all tit for tat these days. And you know who's getting screwed? Us.
Everybody.
No one. Not the people making these stupid freaking rules. They're fine.
No, they're fine. If anything, the oil companies are making more money now than ever before.
Oh my God, of course they are. They're jacking up the price. Why? Universal cost for everything. What is happening?
Yep.
Why is it $1 more across the street for the same product?
Yep.
And then also now they're not filtering the gas as much. And so now like California's fine because we have certain rules with our gas, and it's why it's so expensive out here because we have better gas.
Yeah.
But like you go even just one state away, they're selling worse gas now.
Yes.
There's more lead in the gas.
Yep.
And now that's going to cause more lead in the gas. You know what that's going to cause? Serial killers.
Yeah.
We're going to go back to this. This is what I'm learning on last podcast. There's all the freaking the Green River killers sitting next to the lakes filled with lead.
It makes them go crazy.
Yes.
Yeah. Well, good. Then it'll all have a great trickle-down effect. It's like gas trickles down the same way water was supposed to or money was supposed to. But gas with lead in it? No, that really trickles somewhere.
Yes. So, we're screwed.
Well, don't worry. It gets worse.
Good.
Because,
I'm not here for good news, Travis.
Oh, buddy. I got none for you.
What are you guys going to do when, like, the world gets good? I pray for a day where your show doesn't exist.
I believe me. For a couple of weeks, we were just talking about the World Cup, and that was nice to just talk about the world's game. You know what I mean? But unfortunately, no. Now,
when are we going to start talking about the Poland premier's birthday again? You know, like
right. Those were the days. We tried to have some good news stories here and there, but it's too tough. And right now,
they don't matter anymore.
They don't matter because the stuff that does matter, like you're just saying, the cost of everything. Not only is it the Strait of Hormuz and the Strait of Bab el-Mandeb, but now the Ukrainian war is about to mix with the Iranian war. And it's happening right now. Here we go. You ready?
Yeah, sure.
So the straits are absolutely effed, right? Mm-hmm. And now Ukraine, because Iran has been supplying Russia with oil still, but not just oil, they've got so many of these cheap drones I was talking about that now they're selling them to Russia for Russia's war with Ukraine.
Cool.
So here I have another map on paper, everyone.
All right,
this is the Caspian Sea.
Oh, the Caspian Sea, the famous landlocked sea. It's got 1/3 the salinity of all the other seas because it's landlocked. And it's an estuary. It's a giant estuary.
That's my beef with it. It looks more like a giant lake.
Yeah.
And they're calling it a sea.
It is, but it is salt water, not fresh water. So there's no freshwater fish in it. Okay. But it's weird because it's only 1/3 as salty. When I was in grammar school, I did very well in the geography bee.
Yeah, I was very good at geography as well. And that's my beef with the Caspian Sea. You can't spell Caspian without Aspian.
That's right.
Thank you. Mm-hmm. But it's a lake. It's surrounded by. I don't see how you call this a sea.
Yeah,
I don't see the sea.
It's the salt water.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Well, then we'll allow it.
There is a little there is a way to the ocean.
Somewhere, I guess. You got to follow some rivers. Yeah, you're right. It goes like through Georgia. It goes to the Black Sea. And Turkey's there. So, but that's interesting. Don't get me started. We're very hungry here. When we're not eating ham, we're eating turkey. But I want to highlight, this is some more incredible geography, right? Look who borders the Caspian Sea.
Can I guess?
Oh, yeah. Take a guess.
All right. We got Russia.
Yep.
We got Turkey. We got Azerbaijan.
Yep.
We got what's their friend? The one right next door to them. I can't remember their name. Shit. That's okay.
Flip to the other side. Flip to the other side of the Caspian Sea.
Germany?
What's the one? Borat.
Borat is screw. Who is it?
Kazakhstan.
Yeah.
And Turkmenistan. Which is like Turkey but with more Stan.
Men.
Yeah, you get it. Men and Stan. Men named Stan. And then to the south, more importantly, is Iran.
Yes.
And so Iran has been sending up their drones and their oil to Russia to fight Russia's war from the Caspian Sea. But guess what? Ukraine's like, nah, no more. They bombed a big old shipment of drones that was headed to Russia that was on the Caspian Sea. Ukraine used a long-range missile.
They got AI drones.
They got crazy drones. It's all drone warfare now.
Did you cover that when the Ukraine used the AI drone to kill Russians?
Yes,
which was like, I don't think I've ever been more conflicted on an issue.
Right, because we love Ukraine, but we hate AI. But then you can't spell Ukraine without AI. It's in there.
And so this is probably what's going on right here is probably the last thing that Lindsey Graham ever did.
Right. This is
because he's coming from there right before he died. He was talking Ukraine, and now they're doing this with drones. Yeah. So this is his last action of war.
Wow.
Probably.
Yes, which we know he loved.
Yes.
He loved two things in this world.
He loved men named Stan.
And he loved war. Zinging him. Still, we get a few more weeks of Lindsey Graham
donated
jokes.
to the GoFundMe for all those gay prostitutes.
Oh, thank God.
They're going to be.
They're going to be in a world of hurt.
Yeah, they know what they should get their own reality show where they got to live in like a real world house, and them they all have to go work at ice cream stores now because they got no one to buy them anymore.
I know, right? Who's going to pay for their college? I mean, there's so many.
Do they have to be waiters for his family?
I don't even.
Does he have a family?
Darlene, she took his place. Which my joke
that's
was,
his sister, though.
Yes, and my joke was it's just Lindsey Graham in drag who just shows up and is like, "Wait a minute, hey y'all, it's me, Darlene." Well, we could go on a tangent.
The only
about
person who does drag, and it is one.
Here we go. Come on, folks.
All right. We're here on the Foreign
We're
Report.
here on the Foreign Report.
One day
Ed
the
Larson.
show won't exist.
Ambassador, they call him. Don't worry. When the news is good, that's when Seena and I have nothing to talk about. But this is pretty bonkers, right? So the war in Iran is now mixing with the war in Ukraine. Iran is obviously furious. Now they're going to threaten retaliation against Ukraine. And this, unfortunately, and this is where I need your brighter side, this is where Seena's prediction a few weeks ago of World War III has started.
It started a long time ago, yeah.
Well, yeah, but this is where it's actually like, when you start to have multiple countries at war and then those countries all start fighting, then their wars all merge. That's when you have a wider scale, what you could eventually call a world war.
I don't understand. I mean, Ukraine's got their back against the wall. They need all the help they can get, and we're the only people helping them.
They do.
And as a Ukrainian, like I just feel for them, but also like they don't need another war.
No.
They certainly don't need another war. It's been over 4 years now, right?
Yeah.
Since
for 2022 for that one.
Yeah. Then, so it's like the people are dying.
Yes.
Everyone's been dead. The cities are gone.
Cities are gone.
What are we doing here? Ukraine needs to finish the war that they're in, not start new ones.
Right.
Not be a part of this.
Well, that's what they're trying to do. They attacked specifically a shipment going to Russia of drones.
Yeah.
And those drones are going to be used on them. And so they saw this as a, not even a retaliation, but this is like a precursor. This is one of those where just like you attack before you get attacked.
Man, it's just so crazy. We're going to be in these wars long enough to watch Ukraine become the bad guy.
Oh God! Like the
Isn't
Batman
this terrifying?
quote.
Like, isn't this like it's like what's happening?
I mean, if they're attacking Iran. But Iran didn't.
Iran's a bad guy. There are no good guys.
There's no good guys in war.
There's no good guys, right? Ukraine used to be the only good guy.
Yeah.
They used to be the only good guy. And then this officially makes them a bad guy because we're bad guys now.
Oh, we've been the bad guys.
We've been the bad guys for a long time, but it's just been hard to admit. And now there's no way to not admit it.
No, because
it's too clear now.
Yeah, well, all this is happening. Our leader is basically bombing on the DC stage in front of everyone who's in charge of that city.
And Ukraine's president is actually a comedian.
He's actually a comedian.
He's actually a comedian.
Now he's a war president.
Yes.
Yeah. I mean, yeah. So we had a war president who's trying to be a comedian. Then we had a comedian who's trying to be a war president.
Yeah.
And then you have Iran who's just, we're just going to bomb all of you guys now.
Man, it's like, there's got to be some country like China's just like got a popcorn bucket.
Oh,
and
yeah.
They're loving this shit.
We've talked about that as well.
They love every second of this. They're kill everybody. This is hilarious to us.
All of this helps China, which, by the way, we've talked about this on the show as well. China has invested heavily in solar panels and wind energy.
Yes.
And efficient trains. So you don't need gas.
They're forward thinking.
Anymore.
I mean, they're they got their problems, don't get me wrong, but like they're causing a smaller environmental footprint than we are at this point. Well, no, they got 1 billion people.
Well, they got a bunch of people.
Now I'm just claiming things left and right.
Well, you're allowed. That's what JD Vance does. Yeah. Just say it confidently, and then no one's going to question you. you? All right. Well, thank you. That was some terrible news. We do have more terrible news to get to, but we'll take a quick break. Ed Larson, everybody, the Hambassador.
That's right.
Thank you so much
When's
for
this
being
come
here.
out?
What's that?
When's this come out?
This will come out on Thursday. We will promote our shows.
Okay, good.
Yeah, at the end of the show.
Okay.
Because I got shows to promote too.
Chicago this weekend.
Denver this weekend. But until then, we'll be right back on the Foreign Report. Welcome back to the Foreign Report. We're here talking about news that's terrible, trying to make it bearable. Luckily, we have Ed Larson in studio with us, the Hambassador, the UN Hambassador. Are you going to speak at the UN? Is Mamdani?
He hasn't called me yet.
He hasn't called you to talk yet.
No, he hasn't called me yet, but I'm ready.
Yeah.
You're
like the Zoran Hamdani.
Oh, wow.
Feel free to use that one. Feel free to use that when
I
you go to
will
New
use
York.
that. I will use that. Yeah,
You have shows coming up in New York at some point.
I just did New York. I should have said the Hamdani. That would have went
Hamdani.
over really well.
Yes.
New York, honestly, right now, I don't know when the last time you've been back.
Buddy, I was there in May. It's like,
Dude, after Mamdani and the Knicks,
Oh.
like everyone's in a good mood and
it's
being
so-
nice.
Happy
It's
New Yorkers.
weird.
Happy
It's
New Yorkers.
Weird.
I love it.
Yeah, it's been bizarre.
the trains are running, the trash is being picked up. I mean, people are walking their babies.
I'm going to go for a week in October just to do it.
Yes, you have to. I was there for a week in May. It was so fun. I was literally there when Hamdani dropped his executive budget where they're taxing the rich.
Yeah,
But the only thing they're taxing is rich people's second apartments that's worth more than $5 million.
I know.
So it's like
crazy. You're
they're
not
raising
even
tons of money just off that.
You're just doing the thing that should have been done the whole time.
Don't get me started. I do have some updates. He is beefing with BB.
Oh, I saw.
Him
He's
and
trying
BB
to
are
arrest
beefing.
him, but he's not allowed.
He's not allowed, and then BB goes out there anyway. We'll
Calls
get
him
to it.
anti-Semitic. He's like, no, I just hate you.
Yeah,
I just hate you.
You talked about it earlier about there's something Trump does. You're like, hey, all right. And the thing that I saw that Trump, when he was yelling at BB on the phone, like, no one likes Israel anymore, BB, because of all this. Nobody likes you, BB. Like, he's basically telling BB.
Even he knows.
Yeah, even he knows. Like, the PR is brutal. But yes, we'll get to it because there's actually some big news
Great.
on that front. But
I would
before we
like
get to
talk
that,
about that, yeah.
well, we have a math problem. Were you good at math at school?
I can do some basic math in my head, but I refuse to show my work.
Okay, well, that's totally fair. If you have a calculator, don't worry, you won't need it. Because we mentioned it earlier, Iran is fighting its war, and Ukraine is also fighting its war with these drones.
Yes.
And Ukraine, again, using these cheap drones, they're about $20,000 each to make, so the price of a car or whatever.
It's not that cheap.
It's not that cheap, right?
Yeah.
That still would really help.
But for a flying, killing murder robot, that is pretty cheap. You're right.
Pretty cheap to do.
Yeah.
And that's the thing right now. Ukraine's been doing those. Iran had to improvise after the war with Iraq in the 1980s. They basically is like, well, we can't get any nukes. We can't get any typical military hardware. So they had to basically find cheap ways to defend themselves.
Yeah.
Because they still have all these resources. The whole world's trying to get their oil and all their other minerals. So they eventually created this Iranian designed Shahed 136 kamikaze drones. It's the same kind that was used by Russia in some of the earlier conflicts that they had, and it costs, like I said, between $20,000 to $50,000 to make. Now Iran is loaded with these. That's why they're selling. Now Iran is making so many, they're selling them back to Russia for their war.
Well, now it's the only thing they know how to make over there, probably.
And this is like,
Once you get cooking, you can pump those out.
And Ukraine, obviously, also in the drone business. So you got all this warfare is going by drones. But you know who's not fighting with drones right now? These cheap ass drones.
Who?
United States.
We're the drone kings.
You would think so.
Obama. It's because Obama. They don't want to do anything Obama did.
That's the thing. Remember when Trump he goes out there like, we're rebuilding the military like never before. What that means is, and I think their last request for the military budget is like $1.5 trillion.
Yeah.
The reason for that is because we are building missiles to shoot down these 20,000 drones. You want to know how much one of these missiles costs?
How much?
$4 million on average.
To shoot down one drone?
So we are shooting down $20,000 drones.
Bullets don't work no more?
Buddy, these drones.
It's a drone.
But this is the thing what Iran does.
Shoot it with a bullet.
They got so many of them. They send 400 out, right? Towards a U.S. base.
Well, that's expensive.
But even for them, $20,000 drones, send 400 of them. They have so many. They're selling them to Russia.
Yeah.
And we're using a $4 million missile per drone. Do the math. Who's spending more on this battle?
Well, we're losing hard on that. Why don't we use drones to fight their drones?
Because we don't have any.
What happened to all our drones?
We're probably selling a bunch of them to Ukraine. And then B, because of this Trump regime, they basically have been starting to say, all right, we're building Standard missiles, CMs, Patriot packs. This is like $2 million, $4 million per missile.
Drones were our shit forever.
I know, man, but they're too
we had
cheap.
Little guys in trailers sitting there playing their Xbox and killing people in Syria. What happened to those guys?
Buddy, we
had this. This was our thing.
Pun intended, we shot that all down.
Ah!
We shot down the drone program so we could build these expensive missiles. But this ties into something that I think you would know from being on USO tours and stuff. And I only know this because I have buddies who are veterans. But the bloat, the waste,
just canceled some.
fraud, and abuse in the Pentagon is insane. Like they have, I remember. Even this is like 20 years ago, and they're trying to do an independent audit. They've never completed an independent audit of where all the money goes.
Oh, they're not explaining where they're stealing the money from? Mm-hmm. We're not explaining why the president's suddenly worth billions more? And all of his friends are stupid freaking rich, and we have the world's first trillionaire? So they're not explaining that completely to us?
They're not explaining any of it, believe it or not. And the Pentagon's not explaining what their current budget is $800 billion plus. And the reason it costs so much is because we're buying all this expensive shit when we could be buying the cheap shit.
I'm just thinking right now, how much I've paid more in taxes in the past 2 years than I ever have my whole life.
Well, 2015 was a good year.
And I just I'm losing my mind over
because your money is going.
This is where it's going towards.
It's going.
This is what it's doing. It's not helping anyone I know. Everyone I know is still broke. Everyone I know is poor.
Yep.
The lettuce is making us sick. What is going on? There's screw worms in our meat. What are we doing? Or is it 1.5 trillion?
Yeah.
On this?
Yeah, 1.5 trillion is what they want for the new military budget. It's currently $800+ billion, and we don't know where it's going. It's going. I mean, again, these companies, these lobbyists go in there and they say you're going to want this $4 million missile to protect your bases. Yeah, well, you want your soldiers to die?
They're all in bed with each other. They're trying to lose money. They're prolonging the war to make more missiles so they make more money. They don't want to have a cheap option. Mm-hmm. They want an expensive option so they can keep filling their pockets with this war that we never needed in the first place.
Exactly.
Just so we can maybe, possibly, hopefully go back to how it was 4 months ago. That's the goal now, is to get back to the shit show 4 months ago. That's where we're at, and it's costing us $4 million a missile to shoot down these stupid ass goddamn drones, and the only reason is because those missiles are funding the people who fund the politicians.
Yep.
That's the only reason this is happening like this. It's not about winning anymore. No. It's about getting it going as long as possible and not letting their friends die.
Yep.
And it's they don't care about our bodies. They're taking the soldiers who died in this Iran conflict / war, which is what we know it is, and they're saying that they didn't die in war anymore. Yes. They're saying they died in an overseas operation or some shit like that, calling it, and it's they're taking away the valor of war from the people who are over there putting their asses on the goddamn line just so they literally are lining their pockets. Meanwhile, the president's printing money with his face on it, and we're all supposed to sit here and be happy? This is crazy.
This is why I'm voting for Ed Larson for president 2028. He will rant for you. He will rant for America, buddy. Thank you. No, you said it perfectly.
That is nuts.
And you did. I mean, you yelled it, and that's why I wanted you to be here, because it's absolutely insane.
Lindsey Graham is dead, though, and that's
one friend of the warmongers did die.
And I think they're all laughing at him.
Oh yeah, everyone's making fun of
these pussies. I'm just, man. Or what about Mitch? What do you know about? I know it's his foreign report, but what's the deal? What do you guys?
They're going to pretend like he's alive until after August 3rd, and then at that point,
if he dies on August 4th,
if they announce it, if they pull the plug on the 4th, then they don't have to do the special election where the Democrat governor of Kentucky can, I mean, there's rules where he can appoint someone, and then they have rules where they got to do a special election. But the point is, after August 4th, I think the Republican Party chooses his replacement.
God, he looks like a cocoon.
I mean, he does. I don't even know what he looks like anymore. I mean, he's got to be.
He was a puddle 10 years ago.
Right. Especially, yeah. His, what'd you call him? Glitch McConnell?
Yes, that's right. I forgot about that.
Man, it was a great joke from, 3 years ago? Anyway, so yes, all the friends are dying. And this is one more big thing I want to point out.
Please.
Because not just we're spending all this money on expensive missiles to fight cheap-ass $20,000 drones. And yes, $20,000 would really help any family in America right now.
It's life-changing amount of money.
We're spending all this money on all these bombs and missiles that we're using. And guess what? We're about to use all of our stockpile of weapons. Isn't that bonkers?
That's Hegseth. He loves playing with the toys, man. He's pulling out weapons we haven't used in decades.
Yes.
He's pulling out like planes we haven't used in forever.
All
just because he's like literally like a war nerd.
Yes.
And he just wants to play with everything. And that's what we're doing over here. And he's
a
sitting
holy
there
warrior.
high stepping his way on a aircraft carrier, prancing around, JD prancing around, having a good old time. And he's just like, oh my God, I can't, I hate all of these guys.
It's insane that they're in charge of anything. But like, this is the thing. And we've even had like, there were generals who warned Trump. These are like actual generals, not Pete Hegseth, guys who are actually experts at war. And they're like, hey, if you bomb this much at this pace, we're going to run out. Our stockpiles are running out. Well, meanwhile, like I said earlier, Iran's got drones to spare.
Yeah.
So what's going to happen?
They have factories now creating these stupid little things.
Yes, exactly. And that's the thing. And it's like, I was talking to our producer yesterday and he's like, we need to stop. They need to stop all bombing and then rebuild at a rapid pace to even get to where we were before. And it won't be till like mid 2027. So he needs a ceasefire right now.
Well, yeah.
But Trump's not even listening to the qualified generals.
Of course, he's going to use all of our weapons. And then guess what's going to happen? We're going to be naked over here.
We're going to be,
and who do you think
sitting ducks?
Yeah. And who do you think they're coming for first? LA, New York,
not LA.
DC.
We're the good ones.
No, this is what's going to happen, man. It's stupid. They're like, we're using all of our weaponry for nothing.
Yeah. Yeah.
For nothing.
It's going to be bonkers. Like, again, it was Seena's prediction. And this is the thing. Seena will say something like weeks ago and then it comes true. But
Seena's the smartest person I've ever met.
Same. And that's why I'm calling you Seena.
Yeah.
World War III, if it's starting and we don't have any way to defend ourselves, then it's going to be like, okay, Warhawks, where are you now?
Yeah. And
this is when we need you.
World War III really starts and really gets going and really starts pumping. You know who hates us? Canada and Mexico.
Oh man,
hate us.
If they join China,
hate us. We were threatening to take over Canada, and we've been killing Mexico.
Oh my
but
God.
like these, they're gonna like let everyone in and kill us.
And China's been cozying up with Canada and Mexico.
Of course they have, because they're smart.
They're smart, man. If China turns Mexico and Canada against us, oh buddy, I'm just gonna.
They're already against us.
I bet you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Like, when World War III comes around, and it currently is, you're gonna want America's neighbors to be your allies.
Yes.
Oh Lord, what a great man. I'm gonna have to learn Chinese. I think I'm gonna just switch
Looper
sides.
was right.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, Looper was right. I mean, but they're awful too.
Yeah,
they're awful too. They're gonna, when we're not looking during all of this madness, they're just gonna take Taiwan.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that's what they're
just gonna
on.
take it, and then they don't forget that they have the whole Uyghur people are slaves.
Ugh,
they have a whole like group of humans that are their slaves.
And Nepal, they went into Nepal. I mean, China's not good either.
Yeah,
there's no, like you said, there's no good guys right now. Who's the good guys?
Canada's might
Mamdani, he's cool.
Yeah, Mamdani's cool, but like that's like a dude.
Yeah, that's one guy.
As far as countries go, I guess I trust Canada kind of.
Well, I got good news for you because we do have one ally that we're making even closer.
Oh, good.
And that is the country known as Israel. Have you heard of it? Yeah.
We have to talk about them again.
Buddy, I'm so sorry. Well, we only briefly talked about Bibi beefing with Mamdani, but we have to talk about this real quick.
That man has done so much harm to
and then
Jewish
he goes on
people.
TV and says Mamdani's fomenting hate. And it's like,
Of
Bibi.
course that's what he says, because if you don't like him, then you're anti-Semitic. It's like, no, I hate you.
Yeah,
I
specifically
hate you, man.
Bibi,
You're
no one you anymore.
Worst, dude. You're the worst person who's ever existed. You know what Mamdani's actually doing? Following the law.
Yeah, that's
by
what he
trying to arrest a criminal,
war criminal
when he shows up to his city.
Well,
he is doing what he's supposed to be doing. This isn't like a threat. This isn't like someone abusing their power. He is stopping a criminal from coming to a city. And you know what? They're going to go to DC now. Did you see that?
Oh,
they're not coming. They're going to go have the meeting
Where's
in
the
DC.
DC mayor? Hold on, let me get on the phone.
Yeah,
with the DC
it doesn't
mayor.
even matter because the Mamdani can't arrest him anyway.
Right.
Because it has to be a federal arrest and it can't be the NYPD.
Well,
but, you can cause some problems. You can cause some traffic jams. You could do some. If I was Mamdani, I would just immediately start digging up the road outside of the UN. Just like, new subway. Good luck getting there.
Right. Well, that was something Seena and I have definitely talked about. Is when the UN is in town, traffic in New York was insufferable.
It was awful.
It was like, don't take the subway, don't even walk around. You can't get anywhere.
Yeah.
But here's the thing. So BB apparently is just getting everything he wants. He's like the Dukes of Hazzard. Like, he's like, how's he going to get out of this one? And then he just gets out of there. This is this is new news, but it's an old bill.
Okay.
It's called the U.S. Israel Futures Act. And now it is a provision within the Greater National Defense Authorization Act, the NDAA. Congress has to do it every few years. It funds our military. It does a bunch of other awful things. They're always sticking awful things in there. And this one really has gotten the attention of progressives and libertarian-leaning right people, Thomas Massie, Tucker Carlson, those types.
Whatever. Those guys saw the writing on the wall and they're trying to come over to our side. Those.
Well, there you go. But that's the MAGA coalition coming to a fracturing halt because now this United States Israel Defense Technology Cooperation Initiative has been shoved into the new NDAA, and it passed the House already.
Okay.
All the Democrats except 5 voted against it.
Yes.
All the Republicans except Thomas Massie voted for it.
Yes.
And it passed the House, and now it's going to the Senate. And basically what it does, it deepens the military synergy between Israel and the United States, basically codifying that the Pentagon now has the executive authority to synchronize and integrate U.S. and Israeli research, technology, and defense supply chains. In other words, missile defense, AI, everything.
So my question is, so we're joining our militaries, basically.
And it codifies that, but it was like, it's always kind of been like that anyway.
Yeah, it's always kind of been like that.
We're giving them a bunch of aid, we're giving them a bunch of weapons.
And we're in a war together.
Yes, and also...
And when you're in a war with someone else, you kind of...
We're in a war together
because
Israel started it.
Yes, I'm not saying I like this.
Yeah.
These are just like...
These are facts.
Isn't this just what
These
just
are
happens?
Yeah. And Bibi was the one who went and pitched this to Trump in the Situation Room, which is like a place that like no
Meanwhile,
foreign
2 weeks
leaders
ago,
ever
he's
been.
like, we don't need any more aid from America.
That's the thing with Bibi.
2 weeks ago, he says this shit because it makes Trump look good.
Yep. And then behind the scenes, I almost dropped an F-bomb.
You can. We're late in the show.
Mad. Some congressperson slipped it in the NDAA, and now Congress had to vote on it. And again, it comes back to what you were saying earlier. Well, if we don't pass it, we're going to look anti-Semitic. And it's like, no, it's just a terrible policy. Progressives like Ro Khanna and Bernie Sanders are against it. Libertarian-leaning right people like Thomas Massie are against it. Rand Paul will probably vote against it. But man, if this gets 60 votes in the Senate, then it becomes law. And then I guess our military and Israel's are just one and the same.
This is insane.
Yes.
This is insane.
Yeah.
It's the freaking Iraq war like times a million.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah, this is the big one.
Yeah.
This is what they wanted with Iraq. They wanted to go into Iran 20 years ago.
Yeah.
Now they're finally fishing their wish. Bibi has been saying for 20 plus years, Iran's on the verge of getting a nuclear weapon, and that's how he's always been pitching this war.
Well, yeah, that's which we all know they're not.
And now you finally got a president who's dumb enough to listen to him.
Yeah. So, we know they're not. They would have had it by now.
Yep.
They would have used it.
Yep.
Israel's right there. They hate them. It would have happened by now.
Oh, Lord.
It's not like we watched Iran straight up murder 70,000 of their own people earlier this year.
Yeah, in January.
And so they obviously don't give a
No,
it's not like they're like they care about humanity, and so like they would have used it if they had one, and they don't. I don't even right now. They got the drone thing that's working great for them. They're just producing the shit out of that.
Yes,
dude. I mean, I don't know who's gonna have the balls to arrest Netanyahu, but this shit is ridiculous. Mm-hmm. Like I think last time I was on here, I asked that question. It's like, all right. You're a war criminal. They're a war criminal. If Trump's a war criminal, Bush is a war criminal. All these people, Putin's a war criminal. At this point, Zelensky's using AI to kill human beings. Who does the arresting?
Right.
Who does it?
Mamdani.
Mamdani's the only one that's willing to take a shot at it.
Yep.
But like, what the there's no consequences.
Yeah.
If I shorted my taxes by $2,000, they would have come found me.
Yep.
You know, but this guy, they've killed an uncountable amount of people.
Tens of thousands.
Uncountable.
And that's per war criminal, by the way. That's Iran, that's Israel, that's Russia. I mean, everybody. Just people dying.
This is ridiculous. We've had easily over 1 million extra deaths this year because of all this shit.
Yeah.
And no one is holding anyone accountable. They're just saying, you did that and we don't like you. And then that's it.
Yep.
That's literally it. Why would they stop? Why would Netanyahu stop what he's doing if no one's going to actually hold him accountable ever?
That's the thing. No one's holding him accountable. He seems to keep getting away with it.
He's only getting rewarded.
He's getting rewards.
And it's all about money. It's all about they're like Trump. You can have Gaza. You can build some golf courses. You can build some resorts on this beautiful or what was beautiful oceanfront property.
It's a great location.
It is a great location.
Yeah,
you know, and it's just like, and it's like all because Hamas is evil is how they claim it to be.
Yeah,
it's like meanwhile, if Israel is the big power that we know it is, they didn't see this goddamn October 7th attack coming.
Oh, that's a whole other thing.
It's like where are we like it all goes back to that.
Yeah.
It's like if you are so all knowing and powerful, you didn't see this shit.
Yeah.
You didn't see people come in on propeller parachutes.
Yeah.
You know, like you have a missile defense system.
Yes,
you have an iron dome.
Iron Dome.
It works against everything except for propeller fans. The fan guy who came in the goddamn boxing match when we were kids, like that's who took over your
like
shit.
The Kool-Aid man came through.
I'm so sick of them. I am so sick of all of this shit. Calling anyone anti-Semitic who doesn't like this. My whole family's Jewish.
Yeah,
you know what?
Jewish.
They've never. Half my family's Jewish. I'm sorry. Half my family's Jewish, and you know what? They've never been more sought after to be killed.
Oh Lord,
it's
right?
Like,
it's
in my lifetime,
in
my lifetime, it's anti-Semitism has never been higher. And whose fault is that? Netanyahu.
That's Netanyahu's fault. Yeah, he tried to blame that on Mamdani as well in this Fox News interview.
No, man.
It's like, no, you, Bibi. Again, Trump had it right when he was like, Bibi, you're making it worse.
Yeah, Mamdani actually is doing equality, even though he probably doesn't want to.
Right. We're just evening it out.
Oh, God.
Well, either way.
Well, thanks for having me. I'm glad my inbox is ruined now.
No, absolutely. I'll be sending you a very nice email that you look forward to. We got one more segment left.
Dude, every time I talk like this, I get 1 million messages calling me anti-Semitic, and then I'll get another 1 million messages telling me I'm a Zionist. And it's just like,
wait, what?
And it's just like, I just get both. It's like for the same comment, and it's so aggravating. Everyone just wants to be mad, and yeah, I'm mad too. And
it's very easy to be mad right now.
It's very mad, but like, listen, we attacking each other right now, it really doesn't help anything.
I agree.
These guys are in charge. They're committing all these crimes, and we're sitting here like policing language against each other when like the reality is they're getting $1.5 trillion for more war, and our literacy levels going down.
That's what's so insane, right? A budget is a living document in what you choose to invest in. And Trump even said earlier this year, he's like, we can't do childcare, we can't do education, we can't do all these things because we have a war to win. And this is literally what Dwight Eisenhower warned about.
And then the next sentence, he says, we're not in a war.
Right, but then it's not a war. And we already won. So that's who's in charge.
And if you die in the war, then you actually didn't die in the war. You died in an overseas operation. And so thank you for going over there and fighting in our non-war war, but you didn't die there. You died somewhere else. And it doesn't matter as much because that's what Trump thinks of our military.
Right. And I remember before you came on, because you talk about the USO tours, it's like, it's important to support the soldiers, but be against the war. You can do both. In fact, the best thing you can do to support soldiers is to be against any war sending them into.
Well, the USO tour is going to be really hard when we're doing it just to the drones.
Yeah.
And so they don't laugh as hard as the soldiers.
Beep, 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 boop, beep, boop, beep, 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 boop. And you can see Ed doing jokes for drones. That's right. We're raising money for drone children, the sad little drone children. We're going to come back for one more segment.
Sure.
We're going to talk about the MAGA versus least favorite guy, which is always kind of fun. Stick around. Foreign Report, Ed Larson. We'll be right back with the JD Vance Corner. Welcome back to the Foreign Report. we're here with Hey Ambassador Ed Larson. Thank you for filling in. Please again send all your best wishes to FPZ Seena Ghaznavi to hope he feels better. I don't know what he's got, the diarrhea lettuce or what.
I know that. All I know is that every minute I'm here, I feel worse.
Right.
I try not to talk about this stuff too much. But I love Seena and I love you, and I'm here to support. The Forum Report actually is a wonderful show.
Thank you.
And I truly enjoy it, and I'm so glad that you're on our network, man. It makes me feel so good.
I will say we opened the show talking about roasting, and I wanted to impress my friends back in Ohio. And we had Netflix on, and it was the episode that you did, Side Stories, where you were hosting. You had Seena on, and I was like, "Oh, those are my friends. Yeah, put it on." And then it's great because we only roast the ones we love. And Ed's talking to Seena. He's like, "Foreign Report, great show. Seena, you're great. Travis, he's fine." And you guys both crack up, and my friends are like, "Wow, they roasted you from the screen." I was like, "He did it with love. Those are my friends. They love me." So thank you for roasting me from the Netflix screen.
Hey, you guys should hear what we say about Nerd of Mouth.
Can't have that on the show. Definitely get blocked on YouTube. Well, speaking of nerds, let's talk about a little bit JD Vance. Last week we covered, he did a 3-hour Rogan interview, dude. God. And it was so bad that even again, we always talk about splits in the MAGAverse, right? Like we were saying, Marco Rubio's a war hawk, JD's the dove, but they both suck and no one's getting what they want in this entire relationship.
Yeah.
But Joe Rogan, he went after JD. And we talked about it with our guest last week.
Oh, yeah. He went
Mossad,
after with his pre-approved questions.
With his pre-approved questions about the Epstein files that never came out and
the
wars
that
were
we're
never
going to talk about these
started.
things. So make sure you have answers for this,
Make sure you
JD.
have answers.
Yeah.
But apparently it went so poorly for JD. That's what happens when he goes and talks for 3 hours. That even MAGA people are mad at him. He's disappeared. I have no JD. Usually my algorithm is completely effed with JD Vance stories.
Well, you did that to yourself.
I did do it to also this show. I do want to say, you're welcome, and also I'm sorry. We talk about JD every week now, but I don't have anything to talk about because he did so bad on Rogan that he's disappeared. He must have gone on vacation or something.
What did they talk about? I don't watch Rogan, surprisingly enough.
Yeah, neither do I.
I'm not an avid listener.
This is the thing. It's a 3-hour show.
And then I know the vice president was on, so I should have been glued to my Spotify, but I wasn't.
Well, they talked about pretty much other things that we talked about, plus Epstein. We didn't get to Epstein today, but they talked about
we
Israel.
covered on Side Stories. Oh, the French guy is mysteriously dead.
Whacked. Yep.
Yeah,
Everybody
had a heart attack.
Yes.
I think that he just might have been very stressed out from being a horrible human being and a criminal, and he might have actually had a heart attack.
Man, well, and maybe that's what killed Lindsey Graham too.
Yeah, you never know. Just a life of being horrible.
Imagine that. Well, some people keep on ticking.
Man, I remember I was in Seaside Heights and I was dead asleep from a night of partying, and then Julie woke me up and she was just like, Ed, Lindsey Graham died. And I just remember just being like, good.
And went back to sleep. I can sleep better now.
All right, what did they say to the other shitbag?
Okay, so JD was basically making excuses. He said we bungled the Epstein files.
No shit.
Yeah,
thanks, bro. You bungled it.
Yeah, they bungled.
You bungled the most important case in American history.
Yeah,
thanks a lot, dude. And you laugh about it.
By bungling,
you bungled.
They
bungle. You can't say bungle when you're talking about a child ring involving the most powerful people in the world. That's not bungling. You did it on purpose.
Yeah, they covered it up.
Yes.
But he can't say that.
There's literally cover up.
Yeah.
If you open the files, there's black bars over shit. There's literal cover up.
Yeah. Do you remember when Joe Rogan was just a comedian and not a guy that the billionaires and the oligarchs and the...
He was a guy who talked a bunch, but I never saw him as a comedian. I always saw him as the Fear Factor. And I always hated him because of Fear Factor. And I always hated Fear Factor. And it was so stupid. It was just this little piece of shit making people eat cockroaches and everyone's just clapping their asses off. I'm like, who likes this guy? And then all of a sudden everyone's like, I love his podcast. I was like, what is going on? I felt like I was crazy. Yeah. It's like, oh, the guy, the shitty person from the TV, the news radio show, the guy who's bad at it. Yeah. That's who we're all like now.
That's the thing. And that's why JD, and that's why, all the billionaires, they send the Peter Thiel, they all go to Rogan's show so they can sell their agenda now.
Of course.
And that's what's so bonkers about it.
They love them. They love them over there.
So the question would be, Is this, I mean, JD bombed. I mean, again, the whole administration's bombing. I don't just mean in Iran. I mean, like, when they go on their domestic shows to sell their agenda, whether it's Trump at the White House Correspondents Dinner or JD Vance and Joe Rogan, they're sucking so bad. So does this
they
give
are
you any
devoid
hope?
of charisma.
Yes, 100%.
Yeah.
Conservative comedy, punching down is not funny. And whatever the hell JD's doing on Joe Rogan's show, he didn't.
So what did they
explain
cover?
it.
They covered the Epstein.
They fucked up Epstein, they fucked up Iran.
Oh, so he's just like sitting there going in and be like, yeah, I'm bad at everything?
Yeah, that's what he basically did. But then they blamed a bunch of it on Israel because they're saying Israel's against the Iran deal. They want the war to go on forever. And then Israel is now attacking JD Vance because, again, he's like the peacenik. In this MAGA-verse, Tucker Carlson, Candace Owens, and JD Vance on one side.
Pushed it over to Israel?
Yeah, that's what he's saying. That's why our show is now sponsored by the Mossad, because they love our anti-JD Vance material, but they hate our anti-Israel material. So
this is all part of the plan, dude. It's to distract us again. It's just like, no, see that we are against them, but they're obviously making deals together.
Yes. Oh, yeah.
They're obviously working together.
Yeah.
JD Vance is a religious zealot.
Supposedly.
Of course, he means supposedly. He's been to the Vatican twice.
Well, he converted Catholicism in 2019 as a convenient way for his political career to jump, basically. Give it a little boost.
Yeah, because we all know how many Catholic presidents we've had. We've had 2, and one of them got shot in the head. So
right. And the other was John F. Kennedy. Come on, folks. That's a quick Biden joke for our Biden haters out there.
You better hold on. Ooh,
oh, no.
You better hold on. You got to live one day longer than Trump.
That's right.
That's all you. One day, Biden. That's all I ask.
Oh, that was all.
Hunter's been a lot of fun lately.
Hunter's cut loose. You and Henry and I were talking about that. Hunter's naming names in the DC gay mafia.
Good.
Lindsey Graham was a part of it. Obviously, there's a bunch of other Republicans as well.
I mean, anytime someone says that they have names or info and they don't release it, I hate them.
Yeah.
It's like, you know what? Go and yourself completely.
That's
how I feel about the whole like UFO thing. It's just like everyone's claiming they got all the info and they can't tell us. Then you don't got any info. You have nothing. If you can't tell us anything, then you have nothing.
You're not a whistleblower if you're not blowing a whistle.
Yeah.
That's the rule.
Yeah, so JD and Rogan just did nothing for 3 hours, and then everyone watched it, and now we're talking about it.
Yeah, well, I did just want to highlight. We're talking about we brought the gay mafia. There's rumors about JD too. I mean, I had friends that went to OSU with JD.
Oh yeah,
yeah. I mean, where's the eyeliner? There's a big rumor he was in a relationship with a lazy boy. Come on, folks.
There it is.
I didn't know he was bisexual.
Oh, come on, Travis! Don't burn the stand-up material on the show.
I'll be in Denver. Thank you, Ed, for being here.
If you do it here, you can't do it there.
Well, luckily, no one listens to the show in Denver. That's why I'm promoting. Please come to my show in Denver if you are there.
Nice.
Denver Comedy Lounge. I'm there all weekend, Friday, Saturday.
Oh, this upcoming weekend.
This upcoming weekend.
Oh, okay.
It's my birthday weekend as well.
It's so weird. I'm playing Denver my birthday weekend.
Well,
October 4th.
I think Denver's a cool place to go on your birthday.
Denver's a really cool town.
It's a very cool town.
I enjoy the hell out of Denver.
Yes, it's where comedians could go and be themselves. Our friend Rory Scovel's moved there.
Everybody laughs a lot higher because they can't have oxygen in their brains.
Right, and they're all high.
Yeah. It's a great place. Yeah, no, and this weekend I'm going to be in Chicago.
Yep.
That's going to be a lot of fun.
And then the ham jokes?
Do it. I got that shit. I need more ham jokes. So if anyone has some, please send them to me.
Ooh.
And then also I got a good show here in LA on August 16th. I'm doing Dead Men Tell Some Tales. It's my dark Disney history show I do with Disney Dan Becker.
I love that.
And Henry's going to be a part of it this time too.
My God.
So come on out. It's going to be Dynasty Typewriter D23 weekend. We're going to talk about everyone who's ever died at Disney. So we're taking Disney's big weekend and we're going to, for 150 people, we're going to be like, yeah, go f*** yourself. Go f*** yourself on your big weekend.
Yeah.
That's
so
what
we
come
need.
See that. Yeah.
We need to start poking these corporations where it hurts.
Oh my God. Amen, dude.
And their butts.
I just don't understand. Are people really still listen to Rogan? At this point, it's just like a cultural thing. Like,
that's what Seena
when
joked
is it going to stop?
Like,
because even like the people who love him don't like him anymore.
Yeah.
Even they are saying the show is boring.
Yep.
Even they don't like JD. So why do they keep tuning in?
That's the thing. I think Seena, he joked last week, it was like, well, these are like the JD Vance episodes, like when the ratings drop.
Yeah.
Like the listens drop because no one likes JD, and now people are finally, I think, waking up that Rogan's just like, mean, he's a UFC guy. I mean, he's probably good. You've covered CTE. I mean, this is just classic.
No, he's probably got it.
Yeah.
The last time I saw the mothership, I didn't go in, but I saw it with my own eyes. I was almost killed by a terrorist.
Oh, that's right. In Austin,
so that's
Texas.
fun. Yeah, so that's how
Well,
what
not
I
an omen.
Yeah. That was the day
the
Iran war started.
Oh my God.
Yeah, it was the day and then the good, which honestly,
you live around omens.
Can I drop some conspiracy shit on this show and then maybe someone can come back and like look into it?
Yes.
Because I know it's a news show.
Because we're a conspiracy comedy show, we always say. So I say drop it, but then promote your dates and then we'll head out.
I feel like I already promoted the dates.
Well, you got Chicago. You got anything else coming
Chicago, you go to eddytunes.com. I'm touring all over the place. And we're going to do some more side story shows coming up soon.
Absolutely.
But I got Milwaukee, I'm coming to you. Nashville,
Get
not
you back to
released yet,
Ohio
Rochester.
sometime?
I need to come back to Ohio.
That Cincinnati show we did last year was one of the highlights for the whole year.
I love
and
those
Reed
boys.
Failer.
Bombs Away Comedy.
Yeah.
Go check out what they're doing if you're in Cincinnati area. They always put on great shows. But my weird conspiracy is that shooting the day of the Iran war starting. We haven't heard much about that since.
Oh, that's a good point.
It was a terrorist attack. I was there. Not like I was like down the street when it happened at like 2 a.m. trying to get a slice of pizza.
Did you hear things?
There was ambulances. I didn't know what happened.
Okay.
Like it was like I was literally 4.5 blocks away. So I didn't hear nothing. It's loud. There's rock bands everywhere. It's freaking downtown Austin. It's wild down there. And the guy had a Property of Allah shirt on. It's a little too on the nose. And he goes, shoots up the place, leaves, comes back, shoots again, immediately killed by cops. And then the next morning, it's like nothing happened.
Nothing happened.
If it was a terrorist attack in the middle of a capital city of one of our biggest states, don't you think they would have like roped it off for a day?
Sure.
Like, don't you think they would have like done a little more investigating? Like, don't you think like for a day we'd be like, oh, let's look for fingerprints. I don't know. Like, I don't know let's look for DNA. Maybe there was someone else. Like the fact that when I walk by in the morning, you could barely tell that something happened there.
That's crazy.
That's terrifying to me.
Yeah.
It shouldn't be wrapped up that fast. Even if you're pretending to do work.
Right.
Like, it should not be. It's a terrorist attack on a capital city. I mean, it was wrapped up in under 15 hours.
My first thought is that we're so desensitized to mass shootings and stuff like that's how quick they clean it up. And it's just like, another mass shooting and we're on. But it's like you said, it's like this was designated as an actual like terrorist attack.
It's a terrorist attack in a capital city of our second biggest state.
Yeah. I mean, geographically, yeah.
Geographically, yeah. Mm-hmm. But no, it's like, So the whole thing reeks of high heaven to me. And we haven't heard anything about it since because of a news cycle, and I don't trust it at all.
And you want someone to look into it, huh?
I want someone to look into it.
All right.
I feel like no one looked into it. Everyone was just like, no muss, no fuss.
Yeah.
And it's just like, oh, that's done. And it's like, no, it's a terrorist attack.
Yeah.
You don't just move on. No one moves on.
Mm-hmm.
I don't trust any of these mother.
Well, there you go. I agree with you. Do you have any dates coming up? No.
Yeah, I got dates coming up. I got dates. I'm going to nowhere. No, I got lots of great cities coming up. We talked about it.
Yeah.
Come see me on the road. My shows are actually a lot of fun right now.
Yeah.
I really don't talk. I don't get too dark.
No.
And it's actually, it's nice humor. And I stick around and I talk to everybody. I sell merch, but I also just talk to people anyway. So come hang out with me. I need attention.
I think in these dark times, laughter, comedy shows, that shit actually really does help. So thank you for being here. Thank you for always helping me and also everyone see the brighter side of
when
anything.
When are you going to get
everything.
sick and I could do this show with Seena?
I'm trying. Mossad. That's my conspiracy theory. Mossad, come for me. Don't take Seena. He's a family man. I got nothing.
When he's sick, he's Mossad.
Come on.
He's Mossad.
He's Mossad. Boo hoo hoo. Do you get it? Thank you, Ed Larson, for being here. On behalf of Ed, Seena Ghaznavi, myself, and the Mossad, thank you all for listening. Please subscribe to our newsletter, foreignreportshow.com. Visit us there for all the updates and send all the nice comments to foreignreportlpn@gmail.com.
Listen to the brighter side.
Listen to the last podcast on the left. It is the last way for us to get out of this mess. Peace. Thanks for listening.